So we're in the Pumproom kitchen, getting ourselves ready ahead of the restaurant launching once the lockdown's all gone away. And Lily Stock, today, what are you making for us this time round?
I am making Masthouse Whisky Pastilles.
Pastilles?
So like little jelly sweets.
Little jelly sweets made of whiskey? Right, okay. Okay, good.
Okay, so we've got 20 grams of glucose in a pan. And we're going to add 200 ml of lemon juice.
Uh-huh.
We want a tablespoon of bitters.
Wow. There's powerful flavours going in here.
And of course, 150 ml of Masthouse.
Now the Masthouse Whisky, I've been lucky enough to have a bit of a taste of this, because this is their new single malt, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's so smooth. I'm a bit of a whiskey fan, I have to say. It's really, really good stuff. What temperature has this got to come up to?
So we're going to be taking it to 108 degrees.
108?
Yes.
Right, okay.
So for now you just want it so it's warm.
Mm-hmm.
And then in here I've got 220 grams of sugar and 12 grams of pectin, which you can buy online.
Okay.
So we're going to whisk it and slowly add this in so that the pectin doesn't clump together. So then we're just going to heat this until 108 degrees.
Okay.
And as it gets hotter, it will start to thicken like a jam, like a really thick jam.
Okay.
And that's when you know you're nearly there.
You're getting there. And, I mean, is this going to be a sort of like a post-meal treat? What's the...
Yeah, this is one of the petit four options. So it takes about 5 minutes.
And again, this is one of those things where you've got to be really precise with the temperature, haven't you?
Yeah, you have. If you go too high, you'll kill the pectin like we've done a few times, and it won't set at all. So we've trialled this quite a lot to get it exactly how we want it. So that's now come up to 108 degrees. And then I've got 100 ml of Masthouse that goes in at this point.
More whiskey.
More whiskey. So just whisk that in.
And that's presumably because a lot of the alcohol would have just evaporated off.
Yeah, a lot of it would have burnt off.
As I know, because I've been breathing it in, which has been marvellous.
Yeah, so that's to give it a more intense flavour, but the heat on it still would burn most of the alcohol flavour off anyway, so it's not harsh. So this is our prepared container, so just some cling film so you can get it out easier later. And then we're going to put this in the fridge for a couple of hours so it sets.
Right, okay, I'm looking forward to trying this. Whisky Pastilles, who knew? So Lily, an hour has passed.
Yep,
the pastilles are out.
It's set. So we're going to take it out of the container. Right, so we're going to trim the edges off just so it's nice and neat. And then we're going to cut it into squares.
That's quite a satisfying operation to watch, I have to say. It cuts so neatly, doesn't it? Yeah,
it really does. And then in here we've got a mix of sugar and citric acid just to give it that bitter flavour that we want.
Okay.
So we're just going to roll them in that.
Little jelly sweets.
Gives it another texture as well.
Uh-huh.
And that's it. They're done.
Well, the proof of the pudding, as they say, is in the eating. Let's give one of these bad boys a go. That's really unusual. I mean, it's lovely. It's sort of sweet and sour.
Yeah.
And you get the whiskey from it. And then it goes all the way to the back of your mouth as well and makes your mouth really water. That's intense. Dangerously Moorish as well. Wow, that's amazing. Lily, thank you.
Okay.
I may have to have another one.
Go for it.
Cool. I've not had anything quite like that before.
Yeah, so after dinner, having one of those, go. really nicely at the end of the meal.
Yeah, that's awesome. You are clever.